welcome to the live recording session. My goodness, this is actually, I'm pretty excited because we usually do this in private and now the whole world gets to watch it as we're creating it. What's up, Tanya?
Yeah. What up, Allie?
Okay, we're doing that? All right. Well, first and foremost, welcome to all of our live viewers, wherever you may be. If you are in our virtual studio, we see you. Definitely talk to us in that chat. If you are watching from the social world, feel free to chat with us. We keep an eye on all of it. But we are definitely super, super excited, to connect with you. What's going on? Raymond Herbert, or Hebert, I think I said it right. Raymond Hebert. Feel free to connect. Yeah, I think I said it right. But Tanya, what's today? What's in the menu today? What we hitting on?
Listen, what up, Tokyo? Afternoon. So we're talking about a trend that we're starting to see.
Yeah.
Happening more and more. So with M.E Studios, we help individuals get branded, help with their brand, right? Their visibility, their authority, get out there. But we're finding two things that keep on popping up. And at this point, what we're noticing is it makes or breaks you, because we're seeing people even with big audiences and you think they're doing really well. They're popular. Okay. I mean, their name sometimes some of these people are household names. And when we're working with them, we're ending up finding out a couple things in the back end. And they're struggling. And we're realizing what they don't have. So we were going to talk about those two things.
Well, I'm excited about that. And also, if you have not been connected with us, we've put a lot of work behind the scene to upgrade, update, and put a lot of value. So whether you want to check us out at themestudios.net is definitely a place for you to check out some goodies that we've put together, and so much more. So we're excited about that. And anyways, let's get into it. The very first thing that I think hopefully we've hammered in people's brain over the last, I don't even know how many months now, is that there's a difference between marketing and branding, where branding is an identity of your business, your product or service. Marketing is the distribution mechanism that delivers that message. And in many cases, people confuse one with the other, where, I'm looking at, I just need to market myself. And you may be marketing yourself extremely well, but your brand has no equity whatsoever, meaning it does not have the validity or the credibility that it deserves for the people who are seeing it. And I genuinely know that with your expertise, Tanya, and specifically in creating systems that communicate with one another, creating systems and processes, if you will, that allow the individual to have the credibility and validity, and then back it up with sequences and so on and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I guess, that's the first part that you and I are finding, that individuals have been all over the world, and they have no brand. Their website is subpar, but it's not a functioning website, right? Even if they have that, because you don't just want a website for nothing, just to look pretty. But either way, they have no authority in what they're doing. And then we find out that they are multi-gifted, right? But they have absolutely no idea how to bridge all of them together and make it make sense for people.
Yep.
They don't know how to repurpose their content, meaning, let's just say we're doing an amazing training, taking that training, putting it on their podcast, doing a blog, putting it behind the scenes and adding more worksheets and other things to it so that it's viable. So that way, every week, it's really like one piece of content that they're really, really being amazing at.
It's happening right now. This is what we're doing right this second. Like this very same training that you're watching from wherever you're watching is gonna be repurposed into a podcast. It's gonna be repurposed into reels and shorts. It's gonna be repurposed into blogs. It's gonna be repurposed into multiple formats. It's a formula that needs to be part of everybody's business. But unfortunately, many think I'm just gonna scream a product or service and it should sell, but that doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. And then I think two people are at this point where they're realizing that they really actually have to have some substance.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are finding out that there's they can purchase a program for $3, $5, $10,000. And we've had to even just one person recently, right? Well known out there has spent, they said hundreds of thousands of dollars. And we're not only putting an authority campaign for them together, we're rebranding and structuring their entire website to make it functional. So it's built in to a CRM system and it's actually working and producing them money. And then this was that next key is the systems that we're building for them. And the CRM system is one part of that. Okay. It's a CRM software, but a system is a component of multiple softwares that cohesively speak to one another and blend together to make one, let's just say, end result or organism, right? So it's not just one thing. You can't say, oh, I have an email marketing software like MailChimp, and that's my system. That's not accurate. It's one of the softwares, but it's not your system, right? And so we're noticing that they have no sustainability. They're actually have been manually doing this or thinking that they get a ClickFunnels and that's going to be everything for them. And I love ClickFunnels. I'm nothing wrong, but that is not a full-on fledged CRM system, nor is it a system as a whole. It's a component of one, but that's also what we're seeing. And so we've actually had to expand our products recently because they don't have a clear blueprint. They haven't written the vision. They don't know where their monies are going, but they're making over six figures.
Yeah. And look, everything is changing very, very rapidly. We have to grow and we also have to own our data. And if you don't have a CRM system that not only is organizing you, but is capturing your data and making you look like a pro, you're kind of be, like what are we doing? Still writing, our data by hand and piece of papers and whatnot. You want sequence and speed because by the time, you wrote down what you want to write about the one person in your notes and whatnot. Don't get me wrong, I take notes, but I'm not managing our client's pipeline. I'm not managing our communication with, the next phase. It's automated and it needs to be. Otherwise, you're creating all these hurdles that you are making your team and your company, jump through. And let's, it's funny that you even said that. It's the interesting thing that we've heard from the client that you were mentioning that speaker all over the world and whatnot. She stated, I spent six figures and they were just telling me what to do. That was like a wow factor, man. I'm like, what do you mean you spend six figures just so they tell you what to do? So they were just guiding and counseling and consulting. I'm like, man, you better drop some deliverables. One of the things that I advise anybody who's watching and you, the listener right now that's with us, you got to make sure that you are always asking, what are the end result deliverables? Look, you can't guarantee sales and you can't guarantee because there's different variables. I can do the best campaign in the world, but if your product is just not relevant in the eyes of the marketplace, ultimately it's the marketplace that decides on that. But you still got to have some deliverables, right? Like, hey, what are the actual deliverables? What am I getting for the dollars that I'm giving you? And there's a lot of, I'm going to teach you and I'm going to help you and I'm going to make you confident and I'm going to like, that's all great. My Alexa tells me affirmations every single morning and that's my life coach, So it's very important that you are doing business with deliverables instead of just a feel good, somebody who's just making you feel good essentially. And there's a lot of that out there, unfortunately.
It is. And I think it's because that's all they're teaching them. Like they're in their thought process is like, okay, this is what my mentor or coach did. And so it's kind of like children when we raise up children. All we're going to do is duplicate that, right? And so if they're telling you, hey, this is how you grow your email list, that's great. But Are they giving you the softwares? Are they showing you the copy? Are they showing you automations? Are they bridging it all together? Are like, what's really happening right
Or
now?
are they hoarding that information for the bigger package?
Well, and that's
Just
the thing. I've noticed that that individuals done that, right? And then this is so funny because I remember doing this one thing and I was like, oh yeah, grow my email list. Like, it's like years ago. And then next thing you know, when I watch them, because I'll pay attention to details
mhm.
and I'll see that they use like ManyChat. And I'm thinking, you never shared that in your program. I spent like $3,000 on that program. I'm like, how about this one? I remember spending 30K on a coach because I was going to be switching things over. This is before I met you actually, a few years ago. And I was going to switch over and I was trying to figure out how do I switch over, but keep my income steady. And so I was trying to figure this out and I spent 30 grand on a coach. Well, 2 months in, something wasn't working. And I was like, what is going on? So I messaged and I said, listen, I need to make sure that I have this, this, and this. And before I can do anything else, I mean, I've already invested in this program, so on and so forth. So I'm getting this mentorship and coaching. Finally, something just like clicked in me and I asked, have you ever run a company? And they were like, no. I was trained by the main person that I had purchased a program for. I was like, what? Now, mind you, they didn't share anything about systems, nothing about softwares and infrastructure and how-tos and tutorials. And I'm thinking 30 grand? And then I go and find out they're using other things. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well, let's dive into that. So if I were to say, all right, Tanya, I'm fresh off, I don't know what I'm doing. What are step by step? Like, let's give the people what they came for. Let's be the,
Different.
yeah, let's be the exception, right? Like, you're here, you're watching, you're listening. We're gonna do our very best in the next 20 minutes or so to give you as much as possible that even if we never talk ever again, you're going to remember this day for the rest of your life. That was the one session that changed my business forever. So I got a product and it's a phenomenal product. I want to sell this product because I believe in this product. What do I do first? Well, let me start by saying, make sure that you're making a decision of what is the end result, right? Like I personally say, if I don't know the final destination, it's going to be very hard to figure out how to get there. So is the goal to build a nonprofit or for-profit? Cool, for-profit. What is the financial goal? The financial goal is to do $100,000 this year. Cool. And what is your commitment towards that financial goal? Are we doing it the fast way or the slow way? Well, I'm doing it the slow way. Cool. So do you have a budget? No, I don't have it. Like, all these different variables have to be identified. And by the way, we're welcoming you to reach out to us if you need any assistance. And we provide any and all tools possible, services possible, as little as $3 a day, and anything that could help you and assist you in between. But the bottom line is, I need to know the final destination. What is my goal? And then we can reverse engineer it. Because if you say $100,000, I'm willing to work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 56 weeks. All right, cool. We're going to literally drop that and divide it so we can figure out how much we need to make per hour. When I figure out how much I need to make per hour, then I got to figure out what is my cost of goods and services of this product, so I know what are the margins that I need to have in order for me to hit that number, in order for me to hit, and so on and so forth. Please do not make a mistake and just look. I'm all for ignorance on fire. That's a great concept. Like, just do it. But ignorance is still ignorance. You need to have some kind of foundational basis on what it is that you're doing. And, that's why CRM is an important piece. I might come across like I'm soft selling that part, but I don't care who you work with, but you need to have some foundational organization in your life and in your business in order to execute the way that I'm telling you. Once you figure out the cost of goods and services, and once you figure out what are your margins, all right, cool. Now I need to identify who is my ideal client avatar. What does that mean? Who is going to buy this product that I'm excited about? Because if your answer is everybody's going to buy this, man, you need a lesson about business. No, not everybody's going to buy it. If everybody bought it, nobody would need us to promote, sell, or do any marketing or branding or publicity or infomercials or omni-channel marketing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The reason why you're working so hard to get that product in front of the eyes of the masses is simply because nobody knows about that product and not everybody's going to buy that product. So you need to identify who that ideal client avatar is. Once you identify that, then all of my resources that are allocated for marketing, branding, business development, et cetera, needs to go towards that ideal client avatar. If my product is for high school teens, then I better have everything about high school teens, from my website to my messaging to, my funnels to, everything's got to be around it. If it is for the, older couples who are in ministry, then everything needs to communicate to that. The problem is that we just generalize and say, buy. I put the flyer on Canva, buy. I asked ChatGPT, buy. It will not work and you will be disappointed, and it leads for you to losing a lot of time, which is never going to come back, much of your money, which is annoying to just lose. And of course, you're going to find yourself again burning and saying, can somebody help me? And then pay money all over again to do it. So yeah, that is a heavy load that I just dropped on you, but that's a 5,000 foot view. Once you have all that part figured out somehow, you need to create your systems. You need to create your communication sequences, your CRM, if you will. And I'm going to pass the baton to Tanya to take on, all right, I got my product, I got my service, I got my avatar, I got my COGS, I got my margins, and I know what I want to make. What do I do next in order to organize myself?
So let me share this really quick from what you were talking about, because I know a lot of times people are like, well, when they think about writing down a vision and looking at the big picture, like what you just said, reverse engineer, many people don't want to take the time to do that because there's this fear, right? And desperation of, I have to make money. I got to do A, B, and C. And so they feel like I don't have the time or capacity or any of that to really do this. So they skip this step. I promise you, if you skip it, you're going to come back to it eventually.
Absolutely.
It is a framework. Yeah, it's a framework to help you get to the place that you can say, okay, wait, this is my vision. And this is why. Because what happens is you'll start to build and then somebody says, do it this way or do it that. And you, because you didn't write it down and keep it very clear before you, you're going to say yes. And you're going to buy products and go on this hamster wheel that are completely irrelevant to what you said you wanted to do or what God had for you. Right. And so a vision is allowing you to take a look and keep it before you so you're not distracted. Number two, the vision, the counting the cost, right? The COGS, which is the value, the revenue, all the things that we're talking about, is because you need to know financially and stewardship wise and mentally, physically, emotionally what it's going to cost you to do it. What is your investment within yourself to even become the entrepreneur, the person that can do this, right? The other thing is when you talked about when starting, you talked about, what did you say? Your target audience. A lot of times people are just like, oh my gosh, why am I doing that? Listen, it is for marketing purposes. It's not to narrow down your brand or who you are or your identity. Okay. We're not saying that you can't do certain things because you are branded out and niched down. That is for your ads and so on and so forth. But this is the reason. You need to know who they are because they have a certain vernacular, a language that they speak.
At M.E Studios, we don't just create campaigns. We build brands. Our mission is to transform your ideas into a compelling experience that resonates with your audience and elevates your brand identity. Hey there! Ever dreamt of launching your own branding campaign, but overwhelmed by all the moving parts? From concept to execution, the process can seem daunting. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Look no further. Welcome to M.E Studios, your one-stop shop for all things branding. Imagine this. A place where creativity meets technology and your branding dreams come to life. We start with pre-production. Our expert team dives into creative concept meetings, curates top-tier guests, and even puts together stunning headshots. We help you shape your vision and plan every detail meticulously. We even throw in AI-powered commercials to give you that extra edge. These commercials are designed to seamlessly integrate with your content, making your campaign not just informative, but also commercially viable. Next up, production. Picture yourself in a state-of-the-art studio with professional lighting, high-quality mics, and an inspiring atmosphere. Our studios are equipped with the latest technology to ensure your sessions are smooth and productive. We create power-packed segments split into 3 engaging parts, 15 minutes each, designed to captivate your audience. Our team ensures that each segment is filled with valuable content and keeps your audience hooked. Now, let's talk post-production. Our team meticulously edits your content, adding branded intros and outros, custom music, and flawless transitions. We take care of all the technical details so you can focus on delivering your message. We make sure your message shines brighter than ever. Our goal is to enhance your voice and make your campaign stand out in a crowded market. Finally, it's time to launch. We distribute your polished campaign across all major platforms, ensuring your campaign reaches the widest possible audience. But that's not all. We create viral reels, issue a national press release, and ensure your campaign gets the attention it deserves. Our marketing strategies are designed to maximize your reach and engagement. At M.E Studios, we bring your vision to life. Our dedicated team works tirelessly to ensure your campaign is a true reflection of your brand and resonates with your audience. Your campaign, your brand, done right. We take pride in delivering high-quality, professional campaigns that make a lasting impact. Ready to make your mark? Visit themestudios.net and book your launch today. Our team is excited to help you start your branding journey. Thanks for watching, and let's get your voice out there. Together, we can create something truly special.
That is what you're going to need for your marketing. Okay. Number 2, you're needing to know how to connect with them. You're going to have to speak their language. The problem we tend to have is we are 3 to 5 years usually ahead of the people that we are going to mentor. That's usually how it operates, anywhere 3 to 5 years. So what happens is we speak to them from 3 to 5 years from now of where we are as opposed to where they are. So this helps you start to get into this place where you can connect with them on the right level. The other thing was, so language connection. Then the next thing is the platform and the strategy. So if you don't know who you are, where they hang out, how they receive information, audio, visual, writing things down, whatever that looks like, you're going to have a very big problem at hand, because they're going to want what you have, but then they're not going to receive it, and they're not going to get transformation. So nobody's going to want to come back, or your retention, meaning the length of time that they're going to stay with you, is going to be very short. Okay. This is why everything Ali says, it might sound like it's redundant, like, oh my gosh, monotonous. Yeah, your word. It might sound like it's boring. It's like, whatever. Everybody talks about this, but here's the things that they're not telling you behind the scenes, that if you don't spend the time to do it correctly, you will be on a hamster wheel of spending all this money and time, because you're not knowing what to do, and you're going to do everything. Okay. In this big desperation to make money. So then once you're at that point, you're wanting a CRM system. There's many out there. Again, if you go into im.media, and get into the membership, you'll be able to, we'll do a starting lean course so that way you can see, but there's a couple platforms. You can always just look up CRM systems on Google or whatever, and in your search, and see which one is good for you. Okay. So just type in anything that we're saying. You can always take a look at that. That will take care of also your financials, because now you're going to have an automations, emails, website, inboxing, text messages, and forms, documents. All that stuff can be done all in one platform, as opposed to having to do like Calendly and DocuSign and, oh my gosh, everything. And And then there's social media schedulers. Find out which one is good for you, but you don't have to, you can do 3 months ahead of time, right? This allows you to work smart. So these are some of the things, if you just slow down, take notes of what we said, I promise you, we have favorites that we have and even ones that we own, but we're going to keep it, 100 with you and just leave it there. We're not trying to, tell you to choose one or the other. But put them in your search. Put social media scheduler, CRM system, like look at all of these things and you can find the ones and research the ones that, that work for you. Again, we've been doing this for over 20 years, even separately, so a lot of years together. So we can tell you which ones would be, beneficial and viable, even ones that you can start with websites, products that have drop-in shipping and everything in it, and it's completely free for you. Right? So that way, when you're starting lean, you know that you're still saving financials, but you're still getting quality.
Keyword of something that you said is important is, when you're starting lean, there's a difference between starting lean and operating on a broke mindset. When we share with you how you can have, something for free, or you can start at no cost, or you can start without spending money, that's just because we understand that you may be in a struggling phase and times have been tough, COVID, inflation, bad economy, et cetera, et cetera. Like, we get it, right? So we're trying to help you out from wherever point that you may be stuck. But the moment you have a real breakthrough, a moment you have, a sale, the moment you have some money kicking in your way, don't go to Applebee's and pop bottles on the weekend and say, we made it. Like, no. That's where you say, okay, I got an extra $100 to $1,000 for myself. Where can I upgrade? Because I guarantee you could be a multi-million-dollar company. There's always areas that you can upgrade and grow. There's always places that you can do better, and bootstrapping is okay. But operating with a broke mindset, was saying like, I'm just going to do it for free, or asking people repeated. You know how many people call us and say, can you do me a favor? Yeah, favor. Sure. What's up? And then what the question really isn't a favor is, can you just keep working for me for free? Or can you keep doing stuff for free? First of all, it's insulting, right? Like, you wouldn't call a lawyer and ask a lawyer to represent you. If they believe your case, they may do pro bono. And that's because they know that they're going to make, 50% of that pro bono on the back end. Which we've done those deals before. Like, I have equity in companies because I knew that it was going to blow up. And I said, all right, cool. We'll do at cost of our cost of goods and services, and I'll take a piece of the company if it makes sense. But don't operate on a broke mindset. It's not only insulting to the people who you're doing business with, but it also it's promoting your own ignorance of what it takes to build a business. I don't care who you are and how talented you are. If you don't have the mindset of investing eventually money in your business, or at least put in the proper effort. I'll put it like this. The reason your family and friends will not support you, as once upon a time my family and friends did not support me, is they did not see that I was putting the effort necessary or investing the time and the resources necessary on myself and on my business. It's as if, like, let me get this straight. You want me to pay to solve your problems, but you're not even trying. You're stranded on the side of the highway because you don't have gas. Cool, I get it. Life happens. But if you're just putting your finger out from the window like this and asking somebody to pick you up while you're just sitting on the driver's seat listening to music, ain't nobody going to stop for you. But what happens is, the moment you get out and door is side open and you're pushing the car while holding the steering wheel by yourself, naturally, cars just start and stop. And without even you asking, they just start pushing the car. Why? Because they see somebody who's putting the right effort into their vehicle and they're stranded, and they automatically say, man, I feel like it's my duty to support this person. And they just start pushing. All of a sudden you turn on the car and all of a sudden you're like happy and excited and they all wave and clap for you. You did it. Have a good day. That is why I insist on, you have to have the right mindset and push your own vehicle before you expect anybody else to push it for you. That's pretty good, right?
I love that you said that. I love that you said that, because usually individuals that are are struggling or are going to say, hey, take advantage of the free and that type of thing, you're going to get that back in return. Imagine that's the seeds that you're sowing. Believe it or not, people can feel that energy. If you come with a confidence, they can feel that. But have you ever seen somebody who like they have desperation and neediness and guess what happens? You feel that and it's not attractive, right? They're going to feel the same thing. I promise you. So I think what we'll definitely also do, reinvest. Tokyo says reinvest. Absolutely. But here's the thing. The reinvestment might look different. Like, for instance, I know that I was, rebranding and some other stuff. And I realized that, okay, if I reinvested in a couple things like the gym, okay, I know that that would be a safe place for me to, like, I hit the sauna, I do the red light therapy, I do the hydro bed, I work out. Like, it does something for me. And it actually, in my bottom line, it makes me money. Because when I feel good and confident and I feel healthy and my nervous system is good and all of that, guess what happens? I get to create amazing content for my clients and they feel it, right? And then at the same time, right, you have, let's just say, I recently, you invest in some supplements. I knew I needed like ashwagandha and magnesium, so I could recover and sleep well. When I'm not in a place of good sleep, right, it's dangerous because I make wrong decisions. I make emotional decisions. I'm in fatigue. I can't serve my clients very well, right? My students and clients. And so it might look like that, right? Where you're getting fit, you're losing weight, and it's not to just look sexy and, oh my gosh, like look at my body, but it's, oh my gosh, like my mind, it feels good to be in this state and I want to live long, right? Eliminating processed foods that is going to cause you like foggy brain. So you want to eat differently. Like, this is what the reinvestment looks like. And I'll say this, I remember I learned this many, many years ago. There was a lady, she made $30,000 on a launch. And she said the first thing that she did, which was crazy to me, but it made sense. She's a mom and she's a wife. So it made sense that she went and she got for $300 a week, a chef, and they came in and she was vegan and everything. They cooked food for her, froze it, made sure everything was good, labeled everything every single week. And she was able to cut off like almost 2 to 3 hours, sometimes even a day, from preparing the food, going grocery shopping, cooking, all the things that were included in it. Okay. So I just wanted to share that. Like, sometimes reinvestment, if you can get a simple system together in the beginning parts, look like investing in yourself so you can make sure that you are in a healthy place. And I promise you, you'll multiply your income. But I did want to get your opinion, Ali, because remember, before we built M.E system, talk a little bit about what that experience was like. Like, in the beginning, we don't have a system. Then we do have a system, because in the beginning we were just like, right, all over the place, but we didn't have the system built yet. So our system is a bit more complicated than others. It's pretty in depth. A lot of automations, agreements. There's a lot to this. So ours is a bit more complex than most people I would recommend, but
yeah. So
talk a little bit about that experience and how it shifted.
Yeah, I love that. In the beginning, there was the word, and what? No, in the beginning, the interesting thing was, you think you got a lot going on, you got it under control, and you got it all maneuvered, but you don't know what you don't know. So I'll give you when you hear it's going to save you time and money. So the very first thing is, there were a lot of operational things that we were doing manually, right? in different platforms, different emails, different reports, different systems, different calendars, different, like all of it, right? Which required different subscriptions and different folders and different logins. And while we had it under control, what we realized real quick was that we saved a couple of $100 right off the bat. That we're like, okay, so we don't need that, okay, cancel, and we don't need that, okay, cancel, and we don't need, and we canceled all these subscriptions. And it was like, man, that's cool.
It
And
was over
immediately,
750.
I believe so.
Actually,
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure exactly the figure. Yeah, it was a couple.
within like 15 minutes, within 15 minutes of sitting down, you and I, we sat together and I said, we're already at 750. We didn't even finish off. That's just the beginning part from when we sat together.
Yeah. Well, you have, so, but when you have that, then you have everything under one login and one system and one communication between all operating bodies, right? Like where the sales, the operations, the marketing, everything started communicated in one login, which makes life a whole lot easier. And then you put the automation in place, where when somebody purchases, immediately there's the sequence of what we would normally say, congratulations, here's a questionnaire, let's figure out what we need to learn. Reminder, we need your questionnaire. Hello, we need you to give out your, where now it's automated. And then immediately after that, even, the expectation agreements are automatically signed, where like it just made life 10 times easier. And like you've mentioned, saving money along the way is not a bad gig either. And when you have, when you see like, man, I'm operating better, more effectively, efficiently, and saving money along the way, your brain starts to get more excited. And now you're like, okay, well, let's get more clients, because guess what we were doing? Spending hours at a time with one client, onboarding with one client. And now it's all automated. I call it the BT times and the AT times, before Tanya. Every time she's like, hey, whatever happened with that? I'm like, that was before Tanya. Don't judge me on that one. But yeah, just life is 10 times better, faster, easier. And we save a whole lot of money along the way. I mean, hundreds of dollars every month.
Yeah, well, I thought it was funny because the first time we kind of got the system together, you're like, oh my gosh, but I got to get this. And I'm like, no, that's already done. And when you went in, you're like, wait a minute, they already signed the agreement. They already did this. I'm like, yeah, they already scheduled with you. It got to the point where they already scheduled with you. And you're like, wait a minute, they're already on my calendar. I'm like, yeah, all of the other stuff has been done. And so it is. Mm-hmm. And it all happened like while you're sleeping, while you're handling other stuff. And I think that's fun. The biggest thing. It's fun. And this is how you scale. You cannot be the linchpin of your company. You can't. You have to be able to ensure that it can run without you. So if you're with the family, if you're with other clients and other things, you can ensure that other people can sign up and it's not subject to your availability to be able to handle whatever it is. You can't scale that way doing administrative work. If you notice CEOs, they don't do that administrative. They stay in a high capacity role where they're envisioning, they're planning things out, solving problems. This is C-level. But like Ali, I don't think we really ever did anything so far with C-level and talking about what that looks like in the transition. Many people stay in this solo entrepreneurial realm. I would say even not entrepreneur, but business. Or they stay in the business realm and don't go into the company realm. But I'm sure that we can talk about that maybe the next live that we do. But even in this one, if you guys go to iam.media, you can have a free account. We will take this recording, put it in there for you, and then we'll add some of our favorite ones that we use to maybe help you save time and maybe some headache. But
Yeah. And you got to fix your mindset, folks. You have to fix your mindset. The reason you are where you are right now is because of the decisions that you've made a year ago, 2 years ago, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So I knew that I had to change. I'm I love to work with a team, but when it comes to my house, I'm like by myself. I love to do this, other than my wife. So I knew the moment that God blessed us with your presence and your gift, Tanya, I was like, man, I got to figure out how we can operate together. And it took us some time where we were like, what do I fit in? What do you fit in? What do you got to do? What? And we went back and forth repeatedly until uh, until it became clear this is where we need to be doing and how we need to operate. And I'm so grateful that you're not only part of our lives, but a partner of ours in the company, and we get to do life and have some fun together along the way. But
Yeah.
I had to change my mindset, and I had to. All right, I can no longer do what I've done for a decade and a half. Like, it worked while it worked, but I've seen an incline in certain things that it would become frustrating. Like, man, no matter what I'm doing, this incline is not going away. So you got to change things in order for things to change. And I'm grateful that we've changed the way we operate, and one day at a time. But thank God we're here.
At M.E Studios, we don't just create campaigns, we build brands. Our mission is to transform your ideas into a compelling experience that resonates with your audience and elevates your brand identity. Hey there! Ever dreamt of launching your own branding campaign, but overwhelmed by all the moving parts? From concept to execution, the process can seem daunting. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Look no further. Welcome to M.E Studios, your one-stop shop for all things branding. Imagine this, a place where creativity meets technology, and your branding dreams come to life. We start with pre-production. Our expert team dives into creative concept meetings, curates top-tier guests, and even puts together stunning headshots. We help you shape your vision and plan every detail meticulously. We even throw in AI-powered commercials to give you that extra edge. These commercials are designed to seamlessly integrate with your content, making your campaign not just informative, but also commercially viable. Next up, production. Picture yourself in a state-of-the-art studio with professional lighting, high-quality mics, and an inspiring atmosphere. Our studios are equipped with the latest technology to ensure your sessions are smooth and productive. We create power-packed segments split into 3 engaging parts, 15 minutes each, designed to captivate your audience. Our team ensures that each segment is filled with valuable content and keeps your audience hooked. Now, let's talk post-production. Our team meticulously edits your content, adding branded intros and outros, custom music, and flawless transitions. We take care of all the technical details so you can focus on delivering your message. We make sure your message shines brighter than ever. Our goal is to enhance your voice and make your campaign stand out in a crowded market. Finally, it's time to launch. We distribute your polished campaign across all major platforms, ensuring your campaign reaches the widest possible audience. But that's not all. We create viral reels, issue a national press release, and ensure your campaign gets the attention it deserves. Our marketing strategies are designed to maximize your reach and engagement. At M.E Studios, we bring your vision to life. Our dedicated team works tirelessly to ensure your campaign is a true reflection of your brand and resonates with your audience. Your campaign, your brand, done right. We take pride in delivering high-quality, professional campaigns that make a lasting impact. Ready to make your mark? Visit themestudios.net and book your launch today. Our team is excited to help you start your branding journey. Thanks for watching, and let's get your voice out there. Together, we can create something truly special.
Well, can we, I know we're going to be wrapping up. Can we talk a little bit about that part? I think I went through the same thing. I love the team, but it was the journey of picking the team. Like, the way that we operate is very unique in every way. So it is a blessing. It's a God thing, I know for sure. But I think some of the reasons why you were hesitant was because of the fact that you're used to everything being on you. You've built multiple companies that have been multi-million-dollar companies, pre-IPO, I mean, all types of stuff, and in the billions. And at this point, when you know that your name is not necessarily on it, but you were the reason why it grew to that capacity. And then you're like, wait a minute, I need to build my own though. I'm putting all this energy in others, which is great to consult or contract out, but you still never negate your personal brand and what you build. And so this was a different journey. And I think that was also, both of us had to learn to trust each other. We both had been wounded in this business realm, multi-level marketing, a little bit of everything. And I think that was like, what was your process to go through that? Because we need a team.
My process is,
my puppy is.
My first thing is to surrender, you know, like, you got to take an inventory and evaluation of the people that you have around you, you know, and again, that very same statement of the people who have been in my life and the things and the decisions that I have made over the last 5 years have led me to where I am right now, good or bad, right? So I started to take more of a stand, and, you know, of I'm not doing that again. And I've said I'm not going to do that again so many times, and I went and I did it again. So for the very first time, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm never doing this again. And I started having uncomfortable conversations with people that I would never, you know, challenge, if you will. That was the very first thing, where to realize, it was never the car, it was always the driver. That's the very first thing. You know, it was the fear of, I don't, you know, what if I remove myself from this vehicle and the vehicle goes so far, and then I'm going to regret the fact that I stepped out of a vehicle where I realized, bro, like, you're the reason that vehicle won the championships many, many times repeatedly. So when I understood and I accepted for the very first time that I have, my value carries heavy weight, and then I started having moral compass conversations, or evaluation, if you will. Like, I'm not going to just do business with anybody. And if I am in business with you, I'm going to challenge and ask the right questions. And I'm not just going to be like, okay, I trust you, high five, everything's going to work out. Like, no, I believe wholeheartedly that 99% of the companies that are out there are in some sort of type of violation in compliance. And if I'm going to challenge you on that, like, hey, look, I just want you to know, like, that may be an issue, and I love you enough that I'm bringing it to your attention, and I want to be part of fixing it. And if you're either A, comfortable with it not being 100% in, or you're not willing to fix it, well, I'm going to have to remove myself. So that was the very first red flags that led me over, you know, the many companies that you and I have shared. And, you know, I'm like, yep, I'm removing myself. I'm removing myself. So that was the very first thing, right? The second part was, all right, now I'm going to evaluate the people who I'm in business with. And I started saying straight up, like, I don't agree with your core values, or I don't agree with what you're doing and how you're doing it. And I'm going to remove myself from my life, you know, or remove, essentially, I'm not going to be in business with you. And the interesting thing, it worked out well in many cases. And, you know, there's the few oddballs or oddball, who's just not realizing that we could have done great things together, but we're not. So that was my process. And then you are the only shiny, you know, human that was like, I'm not in business with you because I can eat out of your plate, but we can build a kitchen together. No, I'm being straight up, you know, and respectfully to everybody that I talk to, for the most part, it's like, what can I get out of you? Or, you know, what can I get at minimal possible, versus, you know, let's build a kitchen together. And I am excited about what we have going on. And that was my process, reevaluating every company and their moral compass. And then it became every person and their moral compass. And I am no longer afraid. I used to have the daddy issue syndrome, where I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to disappoint. I don't want to tell you that you're wrong, and then you're going to be like, well, I don't want to talk to you anymore, right? Like, I was afraid of that all the time. But now I don't care, dude. Like, get mad if you want to. Don't be mad at the guy who reported the bank robber. It's the bank robber that has issues. I'm just the one who's like, I don't want to work with you because you're a bank robber.
So
That's
let
just
me
me.
ask you
All
a
right.
question. Let me ask you a question, because this has to come from a healthy place. Now, mind you, if you guys are just watching this and you're starting your business or middle or whatever that looks like, you need to do this at every stage. You need to clean your environment again, take a look at, because you're going to outgrow, right? Some people are going to grow with
No,
you.
no. Facts.
But when you did what you did, you are loving, kind, you are a giver, you are always pouring. And I'm the same way, but I even have to I'm like, okay, I met somebody who's way more than I am. Cause I have to rein you back and be like, Ali, you need to charge for that. Ali, don't do that. So that's how we came up with I Am, where we're like, people want to come to us and pick the brain. Well, okay, well, there you go. Go ahead and pick our brain. If you're not willing to, put in, right? So, but you had to do this from a healthy space, because if you did it with this anger or frustration of, I'm tired of being taken advantage of, everybody's prostituting my gifts and I can't, you would have had a very different outcome, because how you approached people would have been unhealthy. But you did it with a pure heart. You set these boundaries. Some people were like, you know what? I'm sorry, whatever. You had to keep reinforcing, but they still loved you enough to be in your life. So how did you get to the place? Sometimes it's just our natural nature. I think you and I, that we don't come from that place regardless. Like, we're not angry people. Like, we can be frustrated, but we don't take it out on people. I think that's some emotional intelligence naturally. But how did you do that? If you were to tell anybody, how do you know that you're doing it from a healed and healthy place, as opposed to this frustration and I'm tearing down the entire world and it's me time?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I tried I built it and I'm about to break it down, and I realized, a day later, I'm like, what the heck was wrong with me? I kept putting myself in all this angry mode, that wasn't, and then I learned this concept of treat irrelevant with irrelevance. And it's a process. Yeah. Because look, unless you're still involved in some type of way, shape, or form or capacity in a business, that could impact me directly, then I can't let it go. Like I have to put a stand, or I have a situation right now with an individual, and I don't care if he's listening to this, but yesterday we were going back and forth, and I told him straight up, like, we make it compliant or we shut it down, but what you keep doing is wrong, and I'm not just gonna sit here and let you pretend that you are all holy minister while you really are just stealing and lying to people. Point blank, period. That's how I feel about it, and I'm not going to sit back. So do I get passionate? Yeah, I am passionate, because I know that there's flife and hype marketing that is doing a lot more harm than is doing good. And the 3-letter agencies don't care about you when you're small. They wait until you do $1 million of business, and then they're like, okay, now let's go. Now they have assets that we can take over, but they ruin your reputation. And I care more about my kids and my wife and my colleagues and the people that I do business with. And I'm not for short-term money and move on to certain things. So with that circumstance, I am passionately, and I requested, like, nope, we're going to meet, and I don't care how uncomfortable it is. I don't care how much you hate me for this. I don't care how much I'm mad at you. We can do whatever we want to fight it out, but we're going to meet, and we either are going to make it compliant, or I'm going to fight you to shut it down. Like that. That's the only two options that we have, right? But for everything else that I was angry, I realized I was angry because I was disappointed in the individual, because I thought you and I were tight, and you said you loved me and you wanted me to be part of your journey and you believed in me. Like, you put me up here emotionally. And then I realized how disappointing of a lie that was, right? And it happened multiple times that I am a strong lover of people. Like I mean, once you're in. Like I will go hold on to you tight. But that's also bad when it comes to that disappointment, right? Like that person that I put in a pedestal just hurt me the most. And that love, the villain, before he became a villain, he was a cared, nurturing, loving person. I don't know if you guys look, Adolf Hitler was the worst human being ever in the history of the world. But do you realize why he became who he's become? He wanted to be an artist in Austria and went to a university, and the teacher said, "You are the worst that there is, and nobody will ever be like you. We'd rather have Jewish people who are better." Like somebody built that in him, his own people. And then he was disappointed because he volunteered for the German army, and his king just walked away and left him behind, gave him up. Like, the villain was a passionate lover of something that he wanted so good, and somebody hurt him enough. Now, again, he was the worst. I hope he's got a special place in hell for what he's done to people.
Oh,
but I'm saying
yeah,
use BUT.
what about it?
There are a lot of people who, before they became angry and mad and upset and want to destroy things, they were passionately loving and caring and wanting to do things. So I found myself falling into the trap of, I'm becoming a villain. I'm getting angry. I want to destroy what I've built for you. And that was not healthy for me, because I would react on my wife. I would react on my children. That energy would get carried into the house. So going back to your question, I had to treat irrelevance with irrelevance. Like, hey, this company and business will never be the same without me in it. And we've seen it repeatedly. There are companies that I got to peak, and as soon as I was like, what you're doing is not aligned with my core values, I'm out. And the company has never grown. I mean, it is as sleepy as it was. And you know, the 3-letter companies that we've left. So I have to find my peace and protect my energy. And this is why either I have to remove myself,
Okay.
from or you have to remove yourself. And fortunately, again, I have one last chapter in my career and in my life that I have no choice, because I built my name within a company that I see bad things happening by a single individual, and I want to address it in a professional matter. But unfortunately, it's kind of a little bit messy. So I'm looking forward to finding peace and moving on, or shutting it down if I have to, because I'm not going to sit here and wait for the 3-letter agencies to come after people and then shut down what could have been shut down early without damage, to shut it down while hurting a lot of people along.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing all that. So the treating irrelevance with irrelevance, I think that sometimes people think that that it's just ignoring, especially being so giving and loving. The way that we operate, I think individuals think that we're hard, or, we can still be loving and kind. And so can you explain a little bit more about that journey that you go through to treat something with irrelevance? Like, some people feel like they have no other choice than to respond to every single thing. And then what happens is their energy is all over the place. They are literally everywhere because they're trying to respond to things that don't even need to be responded to. I mean, somebody writes something crappy on your post, and you want to spend all the time pouring out or doing whatever. Is that making you money? Is that
No, yeah.
helping you at all? Right. So, like you said, irrelevance, treat irrelevance with irrelevance. Help somebody understand how you can be so kind and loving the way that you are. And what do you mean? It's not done in a nasty way, but what do you mean? Like, do you pick and choose what you put your energy into? Like, what you pay attention to?
Well, yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I'm still a human being, right? Like, I still have emotions. I still have flaws. I still make mistakes. But I, again, it's having someone like yourself to have this conversation with is, it's like a good reminder to, again, reevaluate. Like, I'm telling you, yesterday I had like a full hour of back and forth, and an uncomfortable conversation. And, let's look back, at yesterday, like an hour of my life that I was just chilling and enjoying with my children. I robbed an hour out of my life going back and forth. And it was because I was passionate about a subject matter. And I finally got a direct conversation with an individual that was avoiding me at all costs because he knows I'm right. So what could I have just let it go and dropped and not even bother? Yes. But that unfortunate circumstance had led me to lock in finally an appointment with the owners today and say, fix it or shut it down. Point blank. That's the meat of my conversation. That will give me my peace, because I don't care about the drama and the back and forth. What I care about is not misleading people to think that this is something that will last forever. If I know for a fact what you are doing, the person that is probably watching and listening this in secret, is not ethical and it's not compliant. I mean, I have to finish that task. It just has to be done, right? But to find my peace is knowing that I can sleep at nighttime and I'm not hurting anybody. And right now that I can't sleep at night, I wake up how many times I tell you every single day about this conversation? Every day you're like, and I know you give me 2 ears and you're so kind and you advise me and coach me on it, right? But at the end of the day, if it does not get addressed, I know it will end up on every single media outlet as a scam. I know it will end up as fraud. It's a great company and a great concept, but the driving force, the loudest mouth in it, is doing it the wrong way possible. And it's got to be addressed, fixed, because I'm involved. And I have my reputation and my integrity on the line. And I'm not trying to play with that. And make sure that people have something that lasts forever.
I think there's a little bit of delay, but okay. So let's gauge the conversation into, you're saying treating irrelevance with irrelevance. So in a situation which, like what we've seen, when it comes down to it's going to affect your character, and life, family, like we're going to have to address this, and we have to have some confrontation in this, and it's more of a protection mode. How do you know when? So are you saying that anything other than that you say, okay, you know what, this is like, what filter do you run through a situation?
If it doesn't impact, yeah, I'll tell you. If it doesn't impact my health, my family, my money, if it has no bearing at all, it's like I ask myself, how is this going to impact me from this point forward for the rest of my day, my minute, my hour, my week, my life? And if the answer is it doesn't really bear any impact, then I know that I got to work on this emotion thing. I need to grow. Like, that's a personal growth sign for me. Like, all right, it's as if you don't want to let go and you want to stay in the problem. That's a me problem. And that's where you have to meditate, pray about it, reach out to Tanya and be like, yo, I got something that I just got to get off my chest and move on. And then once I move on, you are so irrelevant that your Facebook memories won't appear automatically. That's how much you disappear out of my life. Like, I move on with a smile and happiness of freedom, and this weight is gone. Because at the end of the day, if I don't let it go, I'm carrying this luggage of frustrations and sadness and stress and anger that I don't need to. I just got to let it go. So yeah, that's how I evaluate those filters. How is it really impacting me right now? And if the answer truly, not emotionally, how is it impacting me legitimately, or legitly, as you would say, speaking, is it impacting me in any way, shape, or form? If the answer is, well, it's impacting your money or your health or your family, okay, cool. How is it fixable? If the answer is fixable and I can just move on with it, cool. Dude, I'm dropping you and you won't even hear from me and I will never think about you again. But if there is a hook that's still attached to me, and by no means, shape, or form, that umbilical cord is not cut off, gotta cut it off. And that's the only thing left in the one company that I'm dealing with.
And I like it because we co-own multiple companies together. And we've been slowly getting rid of and cleaning plates. And it's interesting because when we've done that, I've noticed M.E Studios has started skyrocketing, and we're 100%. Able to do way more. Like, I mean, we're rebranding and doing websites and designs. We're doing CRM systems and automations. We didn't do that
documentaries
before, right? We're even talking about documentaries that that are being featured and award winning. And we're even getting to the point where we're now transcribing books and manuscripts for people to do things easier. We have now more time. We even have it where we've adopted some products that now other companies are putting it within their company, and they're now using our company as a white label. I mean, there's so much happening that I don't think that if we both had made these decisions and really worked on us, that I don't think this would be happening right now, because we wouldn't have the, not only the energy, the fortitude, but because we would have been all over the place. And even our mental and emotional health.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much shame around mental health and things like that. But whenever you step into the business world, you need to really, really make sure that you know how to take care of your mental health, because it is not for the weak. It really isn't for the weak. Some of the things that you and I have been through and have to come back and do a live stream or teach and smile through it all, knowing that God's got us, while we might have just gotten off of a really big issue or whatever. It's not easy. It's not. So, but yeah, we dealt with we move on. Wow. We did a lot. Yeah. Right. We talked about mental. We talked about how you're building. We talked about the systems that we're seeing that people don't have, and that's going to make or break you. We also talked about understanding the difference between marketing and branding, and that can make or break you. What else? What else? Oh, relationships and environments that would make or break you. What else? Did we get everything?
This is just a the
recap.
And this is just
we're
going to
put a nice course. Yeah, it is absolutely appetizer. We're going to put in im.media. We're going to put this training. And then we're going to put all of the tools and assets that we personally like. Some of them we co-own, but I'll just say we own, because we do. And then we'll show some of those resources and things like that, or that we're affiliates of. We have like a referral link or however, and we do everything together. So yeah, we'll put all of those and whatever other things we can think of, worksheets and other stuff inside. So you can just sign up for your free account. You want to upgrade. We even have options to work with us personally, where you can, at Monday through Friday, whenever you feel like it, it's not Zoom chats or calls or anything, you can jump on a quick Voxer. And we have that audio app, and you can share whatever you need, and we will help you right in that moment. So you're not having to jump on calls and other stuff. So yeah, I think that's it. Did I get it down?
Yes, indeed. We appreciate you. We love you. And we look forward to working with you as well.
Absolutely. All right. Are we getting some outro music? What are we doing?
Nah. Do we need to dance? We want to dance? Want to do a quick dance?
Yeah, let's dance.
Why not?
Let's shake it off. This was a heavy topic. We're going to shake this off. There you go.
Another one.
You didn't even dance, bro. Come on. You got to dance.
Hey. We appreciate you. Love you. Till next time. Peace out, everybody.
At M.E Studios, we don't just create campaigns, we build brands. Our mission is to transform your ideas into a compelling experience that resonates with your audience and elevates your brand identity. Hey there! Ever dreamt of launching your own branding campaign, but overwhelmed by all the moving parts? From concept to execution, the process can seem daunting. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Look no further. Welcome to M.E Studios, your one-stop shop for all things branding. Imagine this, a place where creativity meets technology, and your branding dreams come to life. We start with pre-production. Our expert team dives into creative concept meetings, curates top-tier guests, and even puts together stunning headshots. We help you shape your vision and plan every detail meticulously. We even throw in AI-powered commercials to give you that extra edge. These commercials are designed to seamlessly integrate with your content, making your campaign not just informative, but also commercially viable. Next up, production. Picture yourself in a state-of-the-art studio with professional lighting, high-quality mics, and an inspiring atmosphere. Our studios are equipped with the latest technology to ensure your sessions are smooth and productive. We create power-packed segments split into 3 engaging parts, 15 minutes each, designed to captivate your audience. Our team ensures that each segment is filled with valuable content and keeps your audience hooked. Now, let's talk post-production. Our team meticulously edits your content, adding branded intros and outros, custom music, and flawless transitions. We take care of all the technical details so you can focus on delivering your message. We make sure your message shines brighter than ever. Our goal is to enhance your voice and make your campaign stand out in a crowded market. Finally, it's time to launch. We distribute your polished campaign across all major platforms, ensuring your campaign reaches the widest possible audience. But that's not all. We create viral reels, issue a national press release, and ensure your campaign gets the attention it deserves. Our marketing strategies are designed to maximize your reach and engagement. At M.E Studios, we bring your vision to life. Our dedicated team works tirelessly to ensure your campaign is a true reflection of your brand and resonates with your audience. Your campaign, your brand, done right. We take pride in delivering high-quality, professional campaigns that make a lasting impact. Ready to make your mark? Visit themestudios.net and book your launch today. Our team is excited to help you start your branding journey. Thanks for watching, and let's get your voice out there. Together, we can create something truly special. Lee.